Hello and welcome to the new section called security. In this section we'll see a lot of interesting stuff, mostly related of course to security and different kinds of security that you can use in Quarkus, starting from basic auth and implementations of this basic auth that can go from GPA, from any database, or even from a file, from properties file, even from application properties. We'll also see how to use a GWT tokens or the JSON web tokens, how to create the keys for them, and how to generate tokens itself for different users. And we'll see super easy setup for the key clock, for the OpenID Connect, and OAuth, as well as how to use the key clock itself for the GWT authentication. And you'll see that's super easy and super comfortable for use. And the forms, you'll have the overview of the forms as well. So everything that will be related to security will come up to some specification, specifically Java specification for security, which uses the annotations, and in most cases, except for the path security, where you'll specify which exactly endpoints you want to secure, or the OpenID Connect path, where you will specify the path, the resources that were secured, you will use the annotations. So this is an example of one of the videos that you will, the lessons that you will see, which will be security GWT. But no matter what it is, no matter if it's basic auth or GPA auth or the key clock, you will use the roles allowed if you have a role. So you can use so we have this like super simple method called hello, right? And you can specify that only users or specifically or only user entities with the user role can use it. So the role itself is like just a string, of course, but depending where you store it and how you secure it and how you provide it, it becomes a role in some way or another, right? So you can use a role allowed annotation in any of the implementations of security that you'll see in the next videos. And you can specify not only one amount, you can specify two, for example. So you can have a user and admin. Only, for example, these two will be able to use this method in the REST API, right? In queries, or not taking the other annotations that you can use is a permit all. With permit all the requests will be allowed, no matter what the security level is. Of course, not if you haven't implemented some security on the HTTP interceptors, your own, like under the hood. So this will allow in any security implementation, no matter what, you will this method with the /profile will be always working. If you want to deny all of the requests, if you want to say that no matter what, this method should be denied, so you can use denial as expected here. So yeah, of course you need to remove the roles allowed annotation from it, so you need to have only one of them. And the good part of it is that you can switch the security engines without changing the logic of the endpoints, which is super easy. And another thing that I want to say is that these annotations won't work unless you have a security engine or the library. In this case, I mean more of a library. So if you don't have any security provider or something like this, these annotations won't work, and this is expected because you don't have like any logic that covers these annotations. So yeah, so you have these three annotations, and most of the time this will be more than enough. If you'll need to, depending on the implementation, you also have a contexts which you will see in the next videos. So I really suggest you to see the GVT implementation, because it's like a golden, well, not golden standard, but almost all of the communication in some way or another will use tokens, and token is like the basic thing that you will use for authentication. And the basic auth is of course good to know if you have something super simple, right? But providing all the time user and password is not the best way. So the token will be more convenient because you supply the username and password once, and after that you don't care about the this fields at all. So you just get the token. From token you can get a username and then query the user in a database, for example. So yeah, I hope that this section will give you a great introduction how everything works. And yeah, this is really important section because security is like by far the most important part of the any implementation. Because like imagine that like you can't imagine any of the services that don't use security. Even Facebook, like like any of the services have a security. So this is a really important part, and Quarkus covers it as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the first lecture of the security section.